Welcome to another GrowYourBnb video. In today's video, we will be going through how to create a direct booking website for your service accommodation business. My name is Ivan. I am the founder of Studio 12. We have been creating direct booking websites for the past 3 years now, specifically just for the service accommodation industry. We have built over hundreds of websites already throughout these years, and today I will be sharing you some few tips and advice on how to actually optimize if you already have one, or if you don't, then I will be giving you step-by-step guide on how to create a direct booking website. So without further ado, I will share my screen and then let's go through it. So first things first, what you will see here is we are using Wix. Wix is a platform that we have used over these years now. It's a great platform because it has everything that you need to specifically run a business. So if you don't have a Wix account yet, just go to wix.com and just click on get started here and then just sign up for an account. For this time, because we already have an account, because we are partners of Wix as well, we don't need to do this, but go ahead and fill out this form and then this is what you will be able to see. So this is your dashboard here. Okay, so you might not see the same one as what I'm seeing right now because this is our account, but first thing that you will see a blank page. Nothing here is going to be showing. So first thing that you need to show is click on create a new site. First of all, you might be, because there is a studio template here now, or studio canvas, you don't need to touch that because that's only for advanced users. But for this time, we're just going to be using Wix editor. Okay. So once you go through here, basically there is an AI already that can actually design the website for you. Quite self-explanatory, but we don't want to rely on AI this time. We want you to be able to have this much flexibility on your website when it comes to the framework and the customer journey of your potential guests. So first things first, click on skip to design. And then these are the templates that you can use. Again, we don't want to be using templates because it's highly likely that people have already used these templates. So what I want you to do this time is click on blank templates and then start from scratch, as you can see here, and just click edit. And once that loads up, we will then go ahead and create a website. So just bear with me. There you go. Right, so this is a complete blank canvas. Okay, so a website is built in a way that there's a header, there's a body, and there's a footer. Okay, so header section and the footer section is pretty much a global thing. Everywhere you go on the website, you will see this. Okay, so for the first time of designing your website, create the header first. All right, so first thing that we normally do is this is the elements part. So if you click on strip, and then you literally, all you have to do, this is why we love Wix, is because you literally just drag and drop. So first thing that you need to do is drag a piece of strip on the header so that you will see this across all the pages on your website right here. And then what does the header contain, right? The first thing is you will have a logo, you will have a menu. So first thing is let's upload a logo. All right, so let's have a look at image, upload an image, and then just locate your logo for this demo purpose only. And then we will be using our logo for now. So let me just go ahead and locate our logo. And there you go. Okay, and add to page. Right, so on this aspect here, so this is your logo now. Okay, so there's two ways of doing this. Some people tend to put it on the middle, some people tend to put it on the side. Okay, but with Wix, one thing that I would like to share this is a tip that I'd love to share with all of you today, is that as you can see, there is some dotted lines, as you can see on the screen. This is your safe borders. Okay, when you go past that, as you can see, it goes to gray, which means not a lot of people will see it, especially when they have a smaller screen. Basically, when you go past this dotted line, it's highly likely that people who's got a smaller screen probably will not be able to see it. They will see a cutoff of your logo. Okay, in order for you to overcome that is if you click on the actual strip layout and then add a column, it will split this for you. All right, so let me just go ahead and crop this in, apply, and then now we have more flexibility now of actually having this logo to be going towards the left. All right, so if you just click here, layout, go to the left, done. And that is basically your logo on the left. What is going to go on this section here now, right? So that is going to be your menu. Okay, so menu at this point in time is not necessary yet, just because you don't have any pages. But let's talk about the home page itself. What is this going to have? First thing is the main body, right? So this is going to be your main thing that people will see. So you need to make sure you make it stand out. Okay, there should be a button in there straight away, and there should be a nice heading of a tagline at least. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be selecting this, click on strip, and again just add a blank canvas. Okay, and now you just go ahead, change the background. So for the meantime, let's just have a look at media from Wix, and let's just have a look at house. Okay, you can use your own photos for this, so it's completely up to you. But let's just, for example, a house, and then let's just pick a nice looking photo, for example, and let's just try and use this one here. Perfect. Right, so what we're gonna have to do now is, because this photo here is gonna, once you put a text on top of this, it's gonna be very hard for you to actually read the actual text. So let's make it dark a little bit. So color behind image, make it black, and then image opacity, make it dark. Okay, so just slightly down there. Right, so and then what you're gonna have to do next is basically create a what we call a tagline. So if you just click on text, big title here, or whatever font you may have, you can actually change the title of the font of the title, sorry, and then just basically just select any one of those. But for this meantime, let's just say 50, or let's say 100. There you go. And obviously you want to change the color of it, and let's just go with the traditional tagline, which is home away from home, like so. Okay, in some instances I have been seeing this is another tip as well, guys. Okay, so I have been seeing a big gap, and sometimes it takes up too much space and it doesn't look professional. So what I would do in this one is I would edit the text, click on character and line spacing, and then line spacing to custom, and then just drag it so that it's a little bit closer to each other, like so. Right, and that's your tagline there. If you want to make it look a little bit more fancier, you can change the font here, and then just change it to, let's say, just the normal Helvetica, so you have that nice change from bold to just a normal thin font. And then if you want to make it look fancier as well, you can just change the color of this just to make it stand out, depending on your branding. Okay, remember, a good website has a good branding. Okay, so you need to make sure that you are able to actually get your branding colors. So let's say, for example, we'll just go with this orange one, which is our branding. Then as you can see, it does change a little bit instead of having it all white, right? And then now if you just go to button, so we just add another element, go to button, and then just select any of this. But ideally, the reason why we need to have a button here is we need to think of your visitor of your website, that if you don't ask, you don't get. Okay, so which means if you say here book direct, that could be one, or you can just say find your property, like so. Okay, and then make sure, again, in order for you to change these buttons here, just click on design, customize design, background fills, and once again change it to your branding color, whatever it may be, and then you can change the font if you want to as well. Ideally for a button, want to make sure it's bold so people can actually see it. Okay, if you want to make this button quite fancy and it looks good, you don't want to go with a straight box like this, and you want to go into corners and then just type, let's say 5 or 10, just to make that nice curve around the button itself. Then now just try and center it all together. So that's basically one. All right, this is your first call to action. Okay, you will be seeing on this website that I will be putting a lot of call to action on this website, because like I said, if the customer doesn't see it, they will get lost. Always prioritize the customer journey. Okay, wherever they will be on this website, the end goal is for them to book directly from you. So now let's add another section, which is basically you have two options, whether this is going to go straight to your property pages or your list of properties, or this is going to be your about us section. Okay, so for instance, let's just create another strip. So this is just another blank canvas where you can actually put your about us, right? So ideally, to make it a lot quicker for you, can actually copy this and paste it here so that you have the same font. Remember, consistency is key. All right, once people see that you're not being consistent on your website, people will see that you're not professional enough, because that your font is not consistent at all. So you want to make sure that all the fonts that you're using throughout your whole entire website are all the same at least. All right, so let's just put about us, and then you add another text here. And then for this instant, I wouldn't be able to give anything here, but the good thing about this is you can have create AI text, which is built in on Wix as well, and just say about section, company name is Studio 12, and we are a serviced accommodation provider in the UK. Okay, there you go. For the meantime, let's just use this one instead, and then just use this text, and there you go. So that is your text done right there. All right, and then let's just make this a little bit nicer when it comes to how we're going to present this. Okay, so normally we would take our time and actually design this to a level that it looks very professional, but we're just going through the basics here. Okay, so what we will do in this case is let's just have an image, and again, let's just find, let's say, a bedroom. All right, and then let's just click here, for example, and then we can literally just put a crop, shape crop, and then let's just use this one, hit apply, and then just size it. There you go, and just shrink that a little bit, and again, put your button here. Okay, because at the end of the day, if they don't see this, because remember, the end goal is for them to actually book directly to you. All right, so we need to make sure that we fill this page with a lot of call to action. Find your property. Okay, you can change this to whatever you want as well. You just say book direct for best rates. Okay, that's the about us section there. Right, so now let's create another section. Okay, this section is very, very much important because not a lot of people will tend to read the about us section. It's just there for content purposes. But for the next strip that we're going to be adding here, this is going to be your main call to action. Okay, what I mean by that is this is going to be the eye-catching part of your website. So let me just create another strip here. So if I just click on add strip, but this time we're not going to go with white. We don't want it to go all white really. So let's just go here, change the background into, let's say, a branding color. Again, might be too bright, so let me just add another let me just see, another color. So let me just go add eyedropper tool and then hit that one there. Cool, there you go. And then this, you want to make it stand out. Okay, so we're talking about big bold letters in order for people not to miss it. All right, so let's just copy this again as a reference, and then let's just do a center align, and let's just say book direct. So, but obviously be very careful with your choice of colors here, guys, because you don't want to be messing up people's eyes. So make sure that you do choose the appropriate color as so, and then we can just have another text here. So we can just copy this, change the font a little bit. Maybe we'll change it to Helvetica, and then maybe make it just a little bit smaller and just put for best rates. Okay, for this instance, let's just make it to 40, and then do a little bit of a spacing just to make it look nice. And then you probably guessed it already, we will be having a button here as well, like so. There you go. You're probably going to be wondering, where is this going to be going to, right? So this is the next step. Okay, so it's up to you again what you want to do with this part of your website. Again, this is your main call to action, and the reason why our website is basically high converting websites because of the fact that we include so much call to action. People miss this a lot. Okay, so now we're going to be creating another section here, and this time we are going to be creating the property section. So if I just create another strip here, and then this time we're going to be using what we call a repeater. Okay, repeater is basically an element of your site that will allow you to actually not worry about duplicating other things, and I'll show you an example. So if I do blank repeaters here, and then let's just create, let's say this one. And then obviously people sometimes need to know where they're going, so we're gonna be putting a what we call a title. So our properties, change the color to this, and then just make this a little bit smaller. Right, so this is where your properties are going to be located. Okay, so a repeat, like I said, the repeater will basically copy whatever you do just using this one specific box. So if I enlarge this, everything will enlarge. Okay, so if I, let's say, add a photo of a house here, let's just create get an image, and then we just show more. Then I just put a house. And then we size it up. So you will see attached to items, which means that it's going to be inside this repeater and it's going to duplicate it for the rest of it. Okay, so let me just make this a bit larger here and make this a little bit more larger as well. And obviously you can change it. Okay, so let's just find another house and another house. Okay, let's find this one. Right, so as you can see, we have 4 total boxes here. What if you only have 3 properties to begin with, right? So you go ahead and click on manage items. You do that by clicking on the actual repeater, manage items, item number 4, delete that one. Okay, then now you have a repeater here which stores all of your basically your property, right? So this is not it, but I mean, you will need to actually put a text as well, obviously. So if I just click on heading, and it will multiply there, as you can see, and let's just put property 1, property 2, and property 3. There you go. Right, this is where you display all of the information. So whatever you have in Airbnb, you will know exactly how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how many guests, and so on you're going to be putting here. So just for demo purposes, I'm just going to put a small text like so right here. And let's just say 3 bedroom, 3 beds, 3 guests. Let's just do that. And let's just copy it for the rest of it as well. Okay. Then now what you should have is the property description. Okay, so the property description, again, you can use the AI text here, or if you use ChatGPT, you can do that as well. But for this purpose only, we will just create a short property description about a 3-bedroom house in Manchester. Let's just do that. Okay, that's a bit too long, but what we can do is we can just have this and just copy and paste it there, and let's just do the same thing for the rest of it. Okay, there you go. Right, so the last missing part of this whole section here is the book now. Okay, so what we'll need to do is basically create or copy and paste the same button again, and just edit this design. And you want to make sure that it's a little bit different, as long as it's still within the branding, so it just catches their eye. And then just do the text and then just make it smaller. Okay, one rule of thumb when it comes to web design, guys, is on desktop the minimum that you can go in terms of font size is 13. Okay, that's the smallest. The biggest one is 50. Okay, that's for the title. But since this is kind of like just a button anyway, so we can just go ahead and do this. Just make it smaller. Go. So we have 2 options here. Okay, so whether we would like to actually give them options. So this is going to be check availability, or we can have explore property, right? So we can have here and just do explore. Cool. There you go. So now we're giving them options if they just want to check availability right away, or do we want them to actually find out more about this property itself. So let me just go ahead and change this lot. Cool. There you go. So that's the property section done. Okay, you can make this all fancy as well if you want to. If you want to be adding a nightly rate here, again, it's just a matter of just adding a text wherever it may be and just say £100 per night. Okay, and then you can do the rest, and then again, it's up to you to make it look fancy if you want, but for this demo purpose only, I will just go ahead and do this and just do the same thing for the rest of them. And as you can see, it just copies it like so. You can just do it from here or wherever you want it to be placed, but ideally it should be just underneath here as well if you want. Okay, and let's just tidy this up. Cool. So that is your property section done. Okay, but as you know, we have created all these buttons here to direct somewhere, right? Remember, the customer journey is key. So what we'll need to do is basically click on this. Right now this section is called untitled, so just say properties. So now we click on this, click on link, section or anchor, properties. Done. And do the same thing for the rest of it as well. Section and properties. Done. So what's going to happen now is, remember, customer journey, right? At the moment they land here, you want them to go ahead and find a property for themselves, right? Click on find your property. It should go down straight to our property section. Same thing as well for about us. Takes you right down there. Same thing here as well. Takes you right down there too. Okay. Customer journey, right? So that's the essentials part of what you must have. The next part we will be doing is with the direct booking scene. We understand as well that it is very much key for you to be targeting long-term stays, right? So on this part of this website here, we will be creating pages specifically for those people you wanted to target. For example, contractor stays, insurance stays, relocation stays, medical stays, leisure stays, right? If you do want to target those people, this is the best section for you to actually do it. Okay, so it will be just a matter of just creating another strip like here, drag it here, and then just search for repeater. And we'll just have, for example, this one here. Let's just call this contractor stays, relocation stays. And then if you want to add more boxes, then you need to click on here, manage items, duplicate, and then duplicate. Okay, and then we'll just put insurance, and then let's just put here medical. Actually, let's do corporate stays. Cool. And then now make it look fancy, right? So let's just do 40, and let's just change this into a different color like so. And again, the spacing here is a little bit too far, so we will then go ahead and shrink this just by that, and then we change the button into read more or learn more. Okay, so let's just change that, and then now let's just do this part here. Relocation is that. Okay, and then corporate is this. So now the next part is basically adding the actual image on the background. So change background, go to image, and then just search. This is contractors, and let's just select this one, and then just decrease the image opacity and make this, let's say, dark. Actually, let's make it light this time. And then same thing for this one too. Change background, image, corporate. And then do the same steps as well. Okay, and do the same things for this too as well. Right, so let's do this a lot here, but for this purpose only, we have actually forgotten basically a title. So if we just click on here, paste this one, and just call it our guest. Cool. Right, so that's your our guest section. Okay, the reason why we create this page is because we are going to be creating an actual page specifically for your guest. Okay, so this is your home page now, and this is what it looks like. In a matter of minutes, we can actually create this. You know, you can spend more time and make it look more pretty, but at the moment, this is the only time that we have. So this should be enough. Okay, so let me just change this to our guest, and it's a good practice for you guys to actually name this section here accordingly, so about us, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So this is your guest section, and then now we add another section here, which is your basically another call to action. Okay, so what you can do is you can literally just copy this and paste it here. And the reason why is because a lot of people tend to scroll all the way down to your website and they will just drop off because they don't know what to do next, right? Because they've made all the effort of them scrolling here and then they made it down here. The reason why it's there is because when they click on this one, it brings them back up again to the Our Properties section, which is going to be converting them again into a paying customer. Okay, so this is why call to action is very, very much important in order for you to have a very good website and in order for people to actually know where they're going next. Okay, so let's go back to editor, and then now let us go to the footer section. The footer section can be anything, so you can put your logo in here, you can put all your contact information and everything else. So we'll just go ahead and do that very quickly. Let me just create this to 300, and then let's just get the same one and just paste this here. It's gonna allow me, nope. Let me just copy this. Cool. And then this is where you put all your contact information and so on. Any social media icons that you have, this is the best place to actually put it, because you know, when you go to other websites, this is where they put all the shortcuts that you want them to show. And then let's say, you know, you can put home, about us, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now let's go back up here again, because remember we haven't actually made the menu yet. So let's go ahead and click here and add menu, and then let's just go to this. So let's just make it basic. So now, right now you only have home. If you click on manage menu, add menu item, and then just put a section, and then we go to about us, done, and then just make sure it's all caps. And I will do another thing here as well, another section. Oh. And then we go to properties, and we add another one, which is our guest. Cool. Right, so this is your menu now, right? So like I said, this is all linked now to the section that you have recently renamed, which is the about us, properties, guest area. So that's where you're going to be doing it. Okay, another tip that you guys should really consider as well is maybe consider having a button that separates this from the menu, like so, and then it will just link into the property section. Okay, so if you just rename this to book now, there you go. And let's just make this a little bit smaller so it's a lot easier to read. And the reason why we do this is because it stands out. Okay, I know there's a lot of book now buttons everywhere. Like I said, this is you telling what you want them to do. Okay, it's very, very much key for you to actually put a lot of buttons, because you always have to think in a way that, at least for us, we always say, if my grandmother can use this, anybody can use this. So you need to think like that, because customer journey is very, very important for a very good website. Okay, so let's just recap again on this homepage. So right off the bat, you will be able to see this, find your property, and it will take you right down to our property section. Even if I click on book now, it will take me down there as well. And if I manage to go to the about us section right here, it will take me right down there too, and another call to action, which is going to take me down here, and same thing as well for this one at the bottom, which is going to take me down here too. Okay, cool. So next part is, again, if you want to make it look fancy, that's fine, but one thing that we should do next time is there is an animation aspect here which you can play around and basically just preview it, and then you can do that. Okay, so you do that by applying animation per element that you actually add on each of the elements that you add to your website. Okay, so yeah, so that's basically the home page. So just to recap, a lot of call to action, a lot of buttons. You need to have those in order for your website to actually be a highly converting website. Make sure that everything is consistent when it comes to fonts, spacing, and also the colors. Okay, branding is key. You need to make sure that your website stand out. The only way to do that is to make sure that you add all of the color palettes or the codes of your colors of your logo to make it look unique. Okay, that's a trick. All right, because a lot of people will just go with whatever color they see. Maybe it's white or maybe whatever it is. You know, if your logo has purple, make sure you actually highlight purple on your website somewhere, even just on the text or even in a full strip like this, to make sure that they are looking at a website that they're meant to be going into, which is, you know, which is your website. And that's the trick. Okay, so now the final thing I wanted to cover is our guest section. All right, so we will then go ahead and create another page, add menu item, new page, and then let's just do a blank page here, and then we will call this contractors. Okay, but for this time we will be contractor. We will be hiding this page. We don't want it to be seen on the menu aspect here, so we will be clicking on this and hide from menu. Okay, once you've hidden that from the menu, it's never going to show up there. Okay, so right, so we can do the first thing again. So this is, think of this as another landing page, and people will see this in a way that, okay, cool, so this is a new page, so this is what's going to happen. But I will be skipping this part because I will be showing you an actual website that we have designed, and I'm going to talk you through it on how we actually designed it in a way of applying the same steps as what we did on the home page. Okay, so let's open another website called Sahara Suites. Okay, as you can see, everything that you see from the website I've just created a while ago is this. Okay, so as you can see, this is their guest page here: contractors, family, relocation, NHS, corporate, leisure, and insurance. So if I click on contractor stays, this is what they're going to be presented at. Okay, this is all about contractors. Okay, so as you can see here, can find what you're looking for, check our properties. Again, call to action. It will take you to their city page, as you can see, and you can just select a city there, and then basically you go and book, right? You can go to this whole blown out website and think of it in a proper, more detailed customer journey, like this website, for example. And then let's say because we're based in Portsmouth, let's go in Portsmouth. This is their current property here. Remember what we said about explore property and check availability, give them options. Okay, if I click on check availability, it will take me to up listing with your channel manager, and if I click on explore property, it will take me to the actual page of the property if I wanted to know more about it. Okay, but one thing that you will see here is a full information about the property itself. Okay, another website that I wanted to show actually as well is called Prescott Apartments. So this one here is it's a little bit much more of a bigger website if you ask me. But if, let's say, if we go to Clifton, explore property, so it works exactly the same. Okay, you can have a form there if you want. So again, you can go on and just plan this out properly yourself, but there is so many things that you can add to your website. And then as you can see, look, this property is located here. This is the map, and then another call to action, check availability, which is going to take you to their uplisting account for you to finalize the booking itself. Okay, so a lot of call to actions on all of the websites that we do create, and you should definitely apply this on your website as well, because remember, customer journey, very, very important. All of the websites that we have done in the past, and we still apply this up to this date. Okay, so so I mean, that's pretty much everything that you guys should really do. So one thing, I haven't shown you guys this part yet, but if, let's say, you've done the contractors page, just link it here, click on link page, contractors day, which is the page that you just created, for example, and then click on read more, and then this is the new page that we have left off. But it's up to you how you want to design it. It's just literally applying the same steps as what you guys did, that we did on the homepage itself. Okay, so so that should wrap up everything in terms of how to create a direct booking website from scratch. And I hope you guys have learned some things here. And so thank you so much, guys, for watching this video, and I hope you have learned some few things. If you do need some advice or anything regarding what direct booking website, I will leave our Calendly link down in the description below. You can book a free consultation with us. I will be there on that call as well, and maybe if you want me to give you actual feedback of your website, I'll be more than happy to do that. And and I look forward to actually talking to you guys in the future. But for now, thank you so much for watching your Grow Your BnB video, and I hope you find this very, very useful. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click on the subscribe button down below, and I'm sure peers will appreciate that. And that's it for me today, and have a good rest of your day.